Day 3, learning from old Rudy videos. He talks about mistakes, the power of patience from 2019. Here we go.
So today we're going to go back to the Pokemon world. I'm going to talk about a lot of the mistakes I've made, and I'm going to talk about some additional acquisitions I've been doing quietly on the side. So first things first, as most of you are aware, in 2017, early 2018, I used to sell Pokemon new booster boxes to the patrons and in my stores and, of course, eBay and blah, blah, blah. In about early 2018 into 2017, I started to back away from Pokemon as the Pokemon Go era started to cool off, and I was not happy with the overprinting, and you had a lowering demand and an increased uncertainty and higher print runs and a lot of volatility.
A bit of the opposite right now with all the demand in the world and speculation on the print runs. Admit it or not, with the stability that we are seeing, I still think there still remains a very large amount of volatility overall. Contrary to popular belief, you can actually still make mistakes in a bull market. The amount of things that are truly not in your control that directly affect you might actually be more apparent than one is willing to admit. There is an irrational amount of confidence being observed right now by people who have been in the hobby for a month, 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year. That's on the long end. You're not actually as safe as you may have been led to believe, because current market conditions, while they make it harder to lose or make mistakes or see loss or have regret, it's still possible. However, there is one thing that is in your control, and it is, in fact, the most important part of this whole equation that is called Pokemon investing, and it is patience. I'm not sitting here saying it's easy to showcase patience in a market where it is so easily attainable to go purchase product, sell product, make profit, rinse, repeat. I think I would even go as far to say that it is harder in a bull market to showcase patience because of how easy it is to see everyone around you who has either the same product or similar product, that it's never been easier to sell, make money. But I also think you will be rewarded if you do practice patience in such euphoric market conditions where you see what's possible. That should be reconfirming why you invested in the first place. I mean, maybe you're here just to make a quick buck. So, shout out to you guys. You're eating right now. But for those of us who are supposedly in it for the long term and want to be around in 3, 5, 7, 10 plus years, this is the moment where you just have to sit back, not give in to the FOMO. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy the hobby. You can't participate. You can still go to shows. You can still watch all your favorite YouTubers. You can still watch all the live streams. You can still go into the rip and chips. You can still open packs. I'm really just trying to say, don't lose perspective on what you initially set out when you first made an investment into Pokemon. It's great tasting sauce. Don't get lost in it.
I did not really do my due diligence and put as much time as I should have before building positions in a lot of these products. So yeah, I eventually ended up backing away from Pokemon.
I don't remember where I heard it. It's an old saying. I'm sure everyone has heard it. But the more consulting time you do at the beginning, the less headaches, questions, and stress you'll have later down the line. And I think that's super applicable to anything that you're doing within the Pokemon space. You should do some research, figure out what you want to get, why you want to get it, what the overall plan is, how you're going to deploy assets, how long you're going to hold on to it, what's the exit strategy once you inevitably get there. This is this should be a lot more serious than people make it out to be, where it's, shiny cardboard. But considering the numbers that cards and boxes, sealed product, are actually selling for right now, I think there needs to be an increase in the level of seriousness being exhibited by a lot of people in the hobby. It may be right now, but there are moments and times that you can get burned just from buying any product at any price, because you believe in what the market is telling you is that you cannot lose. It only goes up forever. There's no down. There's no risk. Consulting up front, figuring out what you want to do, what your goals are, will help you execute on showcasing that patience that we've been talking about. If you're not knowing where you're going or what you want to do, how are you expecting to actually maneuver the day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year, potentially, everything that happens within the market itself or externally? Coming in at all-time highs might give you a false sense of security that you are in control at the wheel, because, you heard about it, you jumped in, you're participating, and everything is going exactly as you thought it would. But just as fast as it went up, it comes crashing down. Are you ready for that? Can you sustain that? Are you over leveraged? Are you properly leveraged? Do you know what you're going to do in the event of a crash, of a 10, 20% pullback? Most people, I would tend to think, are not actually even considering that as a remote possibility, which inherently shows the short-sightedness that a lot of people are speculating is actually happening right now. Not really even speculating, actually witnessing. It's not hard to see who's been here for literal months. It's not hard to spot someone who has never been a vendor, who has never, known, I guess, what price sensitivity might be within the hobby, within the market. This is all they know. All they know is peak euphoric, peak euphoria, peak highs, uber confidence. Nothing bad can ever happen to them. This is why you need to take control of what you actually have control over. You don't have control over the printing. You don't have control over what the Pokemon Company decides to do. You don't have control over what a grading company decides to do. PSA today all up and just announced that they're closing some of their grading services today, which, that's going to have definite impacts on the market. If you are someone who invests only in slabs and relies heavily on having large quantity of slabs at all time for liquidity, making money, conducting a business, I don't know why. I mean, you didn't choose that, but it happened. External market conditions are going to change whether you like it or not. It's just all about how prepared you are to handle the volatility that, even again, when everything's going up, there's still volatility. Some could argue there's even more volatility because you're so high up, the fall down can be quite steep. And what if I told you there's a surefire way to protect yourself from 90+% of the volatility that is ever shown in any market ever? What is it, Rudy? Is it time? I think it might be time. How long? How long should people hold for?
I always say you need to give it 3 to 5 years at minimum. It's been very fascinating to apply the same mindset that, just like magic, the people who stayed the course and just waited patiently were rewarded.
It sounds dumb, but it's true. Thanks for watching today, guys. As always, leave a comment, leave a like. I reply to all comments. Would love to hear your thoughts. How long are you going to hold for?